Well, today's video is on everybody's favorite baby daddy, Aries. In these videos, I will be mostly talking about your sun sign, but if you have a moon and rising in this sign, that also matters. If you have a placement of this sign in the 5th, 6th, or 7th house, this video might also apply to you. I will be paying special attention to the love planet of Venus, which I refer to as bottom energy, and the passionate planet of Mars that I refer to as top energy. Let's get started, shall we? Astrology, there are 4 elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Within each of the elements, there are 3 signs. And for each of those signs, there's 3 different modes that they could be in: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The cardinal signs are Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. They kick off the season. They're instigators. They incite change. The fixed signs are Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. They maintain the systems. They're very self-contained. The mutable signs are Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. They reconfigure the systems and they're very adaptable to change. Aries. Baby daddy, is that right? I mean, I know what I mean by that, but it sounds like a different connotation. Let me rethink that. Yeah, they're a baby daddy. They're like a daddy, but really they're a baby. They are the very first zodiac sign, so they are inherently the baby. But Aries is ruled by Mars, which on this channel we talk a lot about Mars. It's fiery. Aries is already ruled by that, so that's going to be interesting when we get into having Aries in a Mars placement and what that means. It's from March 20th to April 19th, and it's represented by the ram. Not only is it a fire sign, it's the cardinal fire sign. And like in the beginning of the video when I address cardinal, fixed, and mutable, cardinal signs are the initiators, right? They're the instigators, and fire signs are very intense. So that's kind of how Aries is. They're the first. They got to be there first. They're the first to react. They're the first to jump in. They're the first to do all of those things. It doesn't mean they're not going to regret it. Things that we might think about when we think about an Aries sun sign would be things like aggression, impatience. They're quick, but they're usually always a leader. So they'll initiate something, but then they're just like want to go with the flow after somebody else takes the reins. They're very authoritative, but they're a child. Like if I had to think of a character to represent Aries, I would think of Stewie.
Come on, Stewie, we're going.
Just a moment, Brian. I'm pretending I'm a fireman. I love playing pretend.
For some reason, from Family Guy. Listen, I love Aries. In fact, Aries is the #1 sign, closely followed by Sagittarius, that I have had the most interactions with. So, yeah. I like their fieriness. We tend to match a lot, being very forward and upfront. The reason why I like it personally is that aggression usually translates into passion. That's why Mars is the passion planet, because people sometimes see aggressive as bad, but really it can be passionate. And that's usually the case for Aries. They're impatient. It doesn't mean that they are hateful or don't want something. They do. They want it now. We don't talk about houses much on this, but Aries is the ruler of the 1st house, which is where your ascendant sign is always at. And it's the face that you give to the public, to the world. It's the self. And so any placement of Aries in Mars, Venus, any other part of your chart, it's going to be a lot of self-reassurance that is going to be needed in that area. So you'll be very passionate, but you'll need a lot of reassurance about that passion. Aries are kind of like, they're the tomboys. Now, what about if you have an Aries placement in Venus? Aries is ruled by Mars, but with Venus, it's very airy and light. Taking the passion of Mars and putting into the sensual nature of Venus can be amazing. Now remember, they're very young at heart. My nickname for an Aries and Venus is puppy love. Chances are this person's going to be androgynous. They're going to be very fiery and passionate. They might even be quick to attack because of that. And that's their defensiveness when it comes to things of emotion and love, because they're afraid of getting hurt. They can be very clingy one minute and very back off the next minute, because they jump into things so quickly and then they're like, whoa, what did I just do? The people that have a placement of Aries and Venus, they're very spontaneous and they're fun. So they tend to be really great lovers in the sense that they just want to have a good time. Now, what happens when the sign is in its own planet? That's something we call dominal dignity, which means it is in its domicile or its home. It just makes it feel more comfortable there. So you're not going to have as much give and take with an Aries placement in Mars, because it's comfortable there. It feels good. Remember how I referenced that they are babies, even though they're daddies? And this is the top energy I'm talking about. We have the top energy ruler in the top energy. However, they are still a little bit of a baby. They're young. They're still learning things. And they always want to learn things, and they get bored easily because they're childlike in that sense. For Mars and Aries. Wait, Aries and Mars. The nickname for Aries and Mars is the atomic virgin. Now, what I mean by that is they have raw energy. So they're very forgiving, and because they're impulsive, that's why they're forgiving, because they know they fail a lot. They come off really forward and like whoop, and so they're very forgiving on the other side of that. If somebody has this placement at the club, they will have sex with you in the bathroom. Like, they'll be like, meet me in the bathroom, let's do it. It's important for the sign to listen to their instincts, because they need to harness and not repress their aggression. You cannot control them. They need to be free to express their feelings. Again, almost always this person is somewhat attractive. They just have this draw to them because of the childlike feel that they put out, and the caretaking, I got you, like, balance that's in there. If you are with somebody who has this placement, do not be passive aggressive with them. They will not understand that at all. It will drive them insane. They don't speak that language. They don't speak passivity at all, really. The reason why I call them the atomic virgin, they get a lot of crushes, and they like that innocent first go at it, and then they kind of get bored. I mean, this placement, they tend not to get married, and if they do, it's probably later in life. They just don't want to be tied down, but it's not a big thing for them. It's just who they are. That's Aries and Mars. Anybody who has an Aries placement, especially in Mars or Venus, they're the person in the sex shop that is not afraid to ask questions. What is this? What kind of lube would you recommend for that? How does that work? What's the lifetime on that? So in summary on Aries, I love Aries. Aries are people that I always want to have in my life because they make things more exciting. And I always have a good time with them. I mean, Cardinal Fire sign. I know what you all are here for. Not just to find out how they are in bed, but now that you know how they are in bed, who in this world might we possibly know? Who are some famous Aries sun signs? Rosie O'Donnell, Jim Parsons, Tig Notaro, Elton John, Lucy Lawless, Kay Stu, Kristen Stewart. Both Emma Watson and Emma Thompson. In fact, the two of them have the same birthday. Our babies, Jonathan Van Ness and Tan France, are both little Aries babies.
Got this. I was like, get on up. Get up.
Then there's Allison Hannigan, and also Sarah Michelle Gellar. Also has Venus in Aries. And you know who else has Venus in Aries but is a super famous Aries? Lady Gaga. So what about other famous Aries in Venus? There is Paul Rudd, Gal Gadot, Robert Downey Jr., Rooney Mara, Pharrell Williams, Lupita Nyong'o, who also has a Mars placement in Aries, as well as Zachary Quinto, who also has Aries and Mars. Some other Aries and Mars placements are Margot Robbie, Daniel Craig, Ronda Rousey, Emma Stone, Rosario Dawson, Evan Peters, Michael B. Jordan, Angelina Jolie, Russell Brand. Oh, I almost forgot. Barry fucking Manilow.
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and a dress.
Thank you for watching. That does it for the video on Aries for 2021. Up next is Taurus, our second Earth sign that we'll be doing. Yeah, look for that within the next couple of weeks here. Also to follow up, I have done a few reviews on some of the apps that I use, and there's a couple more that'll be coming out soon. Please make sure you check that out. Follow, like, subscribe. I also post all of these videos on YouTube. If you want to send them off to people who don't use Instagram, feel free to do that. Thank you all for participating, and I love doing this. It's really fun. If you're interested in having a reading or wanting to know more about Queerstrology and what it's about, hit me up and let me know. All right? Other than that, cheers. If you're in Aries and you know it, puff your fire. No, that's not how that would go. You know what, Aries is the sign. They're the ones that like fart in the room and then they like just sit there and watch everybody. Yeah, exactly. I had an office once where there was like, they would ride the little like razor scooter on the office. Yeah, and just dust crop people. That's an Aries move. My favorite meme of an Aries ever is like this Aries dad filming his daughter going to a goose, and the goose turns around and starts chasing her, and dad's just cracking up. It's so good. It's so funny. I'll see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll put it on here.
Okay. Okay, go. Get close to him. Get closer to him.
It was an interesting thing that I heard about this placement. These people tend to be very beautiful and they exude intense excitement. But most beautiful things, they're also very dangerous. For a sun sign Aries, some typical type of things we might think, la, 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 la.